Hi, I'm Susie Garden, and this is the Ageless and Awesome podcast. I'm an age-defying naturopath and clinical nutritionist, and I'm here to bust myths around women's health and aging so that you can be ageless and awesome in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. The Ageless and Awesome podcast is dedicated to helping women through perimenopause and menopause with great health, a positive mindset, and outrageous confidence. Hit subscribe or follow now, and let's get started. Hello, gorgeous one, and welcome to Q&A Thursday with me, Susie. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. And today's question, I think, is a really important question. It's from Melinda from Sydney. And she's asking, just wondering if it's normal in Peri to feel, the word she's used is meh. And she's gone on to say she doesn't feel like she's depressed or anxious, just not like her normal, happy, smiley self. She's not finding joy from her normal activities or her work, and she's feeling really unmotivated. And she said, what can I do? So if you've been listening to the episodes over the last few weeks, you know, and maybe you've read my blogs on perimenopause anxiety and perimenopause depression. And I guess what Melinda is describing is perhaps that middle ground. Now, it's always important if you are feeling like this to get assessed to make sure it is not depression, because it's really easy to miss that. And a lot of what Melinda is describing does sound a little bit like depression to me, but it may not be. So I just wanted to say that first. If you're having these sorts of feelings, you're not finding joy, this is the particular one actually, you're not finding joy in your normal activities. So for me, for example, reformer, Pilates or yoga, or, you know, walking on the beach or whatever, spending time with my dogs. If I'm not feeling joy from that, and I normally do, then that's a bit of a warning sign, a bit of a red flag that maybe something's not right. So definitely you want to get that checked out. Secondly, on a more physiological kind of level, there are certain things we can check in the blood, such as thyroid, such as vitamin D and iron. They would be my top three I would be looking at with this sort of symptom profile with one of my clients, for example. And the thing is, actually, before I go any further, is that this is a really, really common feeling that women in perimenopause specifically seem to get. And when I work with postmenopausal women, they're not really getting those feelings. Some of them have had them and they've moved on. Once that all of the hormone fluctuations stop, it's better. So I just wanted to reassure you, particularly Melinda, but anyone else who's feeling like this, that this can be something that's present in perimenopause. But if you do have it in peri, it's likely that it will go when you hit menopause being 12 months after your last menstrual period. So that's the good news. But yes, as I've already mentioned, getting checked out by a professional that can assess your mental health, getting your vitamin D, your thyroid, and your iron checked. And if that's all normal, and you're getting told, yep, that's all normal, then what else can you do? Because this is a horrible way to feel. And, you know, I have actually felt like this myself. And so the things that I've found have helped me, really, really for me in particular, is spending time in nature. And that can literally be just sitting in the backyard. I'm lucky enough to have a small backyard. I live in a townhouse, but I do have a backyard. So spending time in the backyard, you know, just listening to birds, listening to the sound of the wind in the trees, all of that sort of stuff. So having, I guess there is that element of mindfulness that helps, but it's actually that spending time in nature that for me personally, I find it's really helpful. I'm just so unbelievably fortunate that I live near the ocean, so I can go down and watch the water. And I think anytime you can get near a body of water or a fire, that can be really therapeutic. Just watching a fire, which I think there's something very primal about those two particular things: watching water, moving water, that is, and watching fire. But spending time in nature, I think, is massive. Doing things that are revitalizing. So moving the body, shifting energy. So that can be dancing, and that's literally, you can just dance in your house on your own. I do that a lot. Stick on my song of choice is Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, because it's a daggy song. It makes me laugh, and I just throw myself around, doing a bit of a dance, and that gets me all kind of G'd up and shifts my energy if I'm feeling a bit like that low, particularly because I spend a lot of time working at home on my own, working with clients on Zoom. And it's just really good because I'm sitting a lot to shift my energy. Other things that can be really revitalizing are cold water immersion, which sounds horrible. It is horrible. I've done ice baths. They're bloody awful, but we know that they work really well. And I'm not suggesting go and do ice baths, but things like throwing yourself in the ocean if you've got access to that, going and having a swim in the pool, even though it's winter in Australia right now. I'm fortunate enough to live in Queensland where it's actually not super cold. I actually was seriously considering going for a swim in the pool the other day, but I didn't. But yeah, doing something like that that's actually going to give you a bit of a shock to the system, even if it's a cold shower. It just kind of revitalizes you. Another thing is dry body brushing, actually. I give all of my clients that work with me dry body brushing gloves, and the ones I use, you can use in the shower. And that is really revitalizing. It just makes you kind of wake up. Another thing is positive affirmations. So what I'm saying with that, positive affirmations, there's a lot of research around how they help to rewire your brain and can make you more positive. So I think that's a really great thing. But even if the thought of, saying positive affirmations every day isn't really your thing, even just removing negativity from your social feeds. So any sort of negative people that kind of you feel bring you down, any negative posts, maybe having a break from looking at the news, all of that sort of stuff can really help to lift your mood. Also, just looking at what's your nutrition like. Realistically, what is your nutrition like? Are you having, 2 pieces of fruit every day? Are you having at least 5 serves of veggies every day? Are you having some nuts and seeds? Are you having healthy fats? Are you having good quality protein? No matter, particularly if you're more plant-based like myself, are you making sure you're having different sources of protein every single day to ensure that you're building good brain chemicals? Because you need protein for your brain chemicals. And if you're not getting that, and if you're not motivated to cook, supplementation can be really good to help. So that's something to think about. Also, I am going to plug Energy Glow NR, my supplement. It's an awesome supplement. The feedback I get is incredible, and I did develop it for women at this stage of life. It is not specifically for perimenopause. I'll be very clear about that, but it is for increasing energy. It is for reducing stress. It is for improving your ability to manage the stressors in your life. It's great for liver detoxification, which does help with hormone balance. It's got immune health. Oh my gosh, so many things that this product does. So definitely consider that. You can head to theglowprotocol.com.au or message me and I'll send you a link. Look at what is your sleep like. Sleep is a massive problem in perimenopause, and so if your sleep is not great, address that. So are you looking at screens in your bedroom, including a TV? Are you having bright lights on at home? For me, as I've said before on the podcast, once dinner is done, all of my lights are lamps or candlelight, so that I'm starting to really stimulate my melatonin production. Sleep has been a huge issue for me over, my gosh, well over 10 years. And, you know, is your room cool enough? Are you having a little routine? Are you going to bed at the same time, if possible, if you're not a shift worker? All of these things matter. So make sure you're keeping on top of your sleep. What's your hydration like? Are you getting 35 mils of water per kilo of your body weight in every day? Work that one out and just make sure you're getting enough water in, because that can make a huge difference as well. Having sunlight on your skin is another one that I really love. That really makes you feel good, and particularly in winter. So there are like a whole bunch of things. There's a checklist in there if you're feeling meh. So Melinda, I hope that has helped you. I mean, the other thing I just will obviously mention as well, why not plug my Grow program, is the Glow Protocol program. Is a 12-week program specifically for women to help with hormone balancing, to help with weight reduction, to lower inflammation in the body, and to help you feel revitalized and alive again. So if you're thinking, gosh, I really need to do something, now is a fantastic time to jump on board with that, because it'll get you feeling good for summer. It's a 3-month program. It is a 6-month program if you've got more than sort of 20 kilos to lose. So please feel free to get in touch. I am taking enrollments at the moment, so you can message me through the podcast or DM me on Instagram at Susie Garden Wellness. Or you can go to my website, susiegarden.com, and check out the Glow Protocol. I think you'll really like it. So I hope this episode has been valuable. Please feel free to share this with your friends. And if you could write me a review, I would really love to hear from you. Have an awesome rest of your week, and I will see you next Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Ageless and Awesome podcast. If you liked today's episode, please make sure you click the little plus button if you're on Apple Podcasts, or the follow button if you're on Spotify, so that you can get each new episode delivered to you every single week. If you like free stuff, and who doesn't, then head over to susiegarden.com and grab my 8 essential age-defying secrets every woman over 40 should know right now. Or if you'd like to continue the discussion, head over to Instagram and DM me at Susie Garden Wellness. I'd love to connect with you.